Yo, what is going on, everybody? It is GareTheBear, and welcome back to another episode of the GareTheBear Show podcast. This episode is probably going to be a little bit of a shorter one, because I'm a little bit crunched on time right now. Also, it's not, it's just, it's basically like an announcement type of thing, not really like an announcement, but today, as of recording this, is August 18th, and today when it comes out, it's going to be the 19th. And the 17th was the 2-year anniversary of my YouTube channel. Now, that I haven't posted a video on, I didn't post a video on the day that it came out. I posted a video the 21st. So technically the 21st is the first YouTube video I ever made 2 years ago. But 17th is when I made the channel and when I actually started. And I actually think I believe I recorded some that day as well. But I wanted to just talk a little bit about the journey so far. It's been insane. It's been really fun, and I have literally been the happiest I've ever been in my entire life in these last 2 years, I think, because I've actually found something that I really, really love and I really, really want to do. And like my whole life, I was like, especially in school, and everybody was like, "Oh, what are you gonna do with your life? What do you want to do? What do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" I had literally no idea. And I was like, "Oh, I want to do this." At first, I was like, I remember I wanted to be like a freaking carpenter or some sort of something. I forget exactly what it was that I said. And then I was like, that's crap. And then I wanted to be a professional baseball player, and I was like, well, that's crap. I don't really want to do that. I mean, I freaking hated high school baseball, so. And then I wanted to be a teacher at one point. I wanted to do like, at first it was like PE teaching, and then I wanted to do like English teaching, and I wanted to coach. I still really I think coaching a basketball team would be super awesome. But it just wasn't in the cards. I mean, college obviously wasn't for me. And then I went to college to be an art major, and I genuinely, at that point, I knew I wanted to do YouTube. I just went to college because I felt like, it was a good backup plan. But then I soon figured out that, if you're not happy, even if you're whatever, then it doesn't matter, Like, I went to college, I think it was for 4 months, and left because it was not mine. It was not for me at all. So that's, I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do YouTube 100%. So I figured I was wasting my time there, and I wasn't happy doing what I was thinking I needed to do at that place. So I was like, yeah, I'm out of here, whatever. So in 2 years ago, there's no way I thought I would drop out of college for YouTube. I genuinely did not think that was in the cards. And in fact, at that point, I don't even think I was considering, or I didn't even know about like what I was going to do after high school. I didn't know like how I was going to go to college or if I was going to do anything. I really had no clue at that point. So it was really weird. Because especially junior, senior year at the beginning, it's like they're all pressuring. They're like, hey, college is almost around the corner. You might want to have something figured out. And you don't have to have anything figured out at the end of the day, They just say that because that's kind of what they're supposed to say, which is understandable. I mean, that's their job to help kids along and help kids figure out college and stuff. But at the same time, like I wasn't the kid that was meant for. That was meant for kids that like really knew like I'm going to college, I'm going to do this, and that's great because they know themselves, and that's the whole point. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to understand who you are and understand what's best for you, and then go do it. But then, in my case, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no freaking clue. So I started making videos, and I was like, dude, this is actually super awesome. Because I had done it in the past before, several years back before I even started, and I really liked it. But then it just kind of stopped. We kind of stopped doing it. But I got back into it, and I fell in love with it. I was like obsessed with it when it came a point. Like at the beginning, I remember talking about like, I really want this channel to grow. I want it to do well. But I never, I had a passion for it at the time. But it was kind of raw, and it was kind of unhinged at the time. I was like, I didn't know exactly that it was what I wanted to do, but I really wanted to do it like in the moment. It was more of a hobby at that point, but it evolved into like an obsession, into like I only ever want to do this for the rest of my life. I only want to make videos, and I only want to make content for people to enjoy and to provide entertainment value. And I just only wanted to do that ever. And for the past 2 years, like this is the longest I've been on like, a hobby forever. Like literally my entire life, I've never done something like, cause obviously I've played sports like my entire life. Like that's just what I do. But there's like, there's little side hustles that you do, like, hustles that like you do as a kid, like, you get into something, you're really into it for like 8 months, something like that, and then you kind of move on to the next thing. It's like, say for example, if you're playing a video game and you're really into that video game, you play it for a certain amount of time, and then you kind of phase out of that video game and you start on a new one, or you just stop playing altogether and you just keep doing different things, and until you find like the right thing to do or whatever. But this was my thing that I found in my life that I was like, yeah, I have to do this. I definitely have to do this. It was amazing, the feeling, because I never knew what I wanted to do. I never had a clue. I tried to know. I tried to know, and I tried to make it seem like I had an idea, especially because, like, careers class and all these different things, they make you pick a career path just so you can fit into the assignments, and so you can do the assignments, and so you can do all the work, which is understandable. That's like the point of it. But you had to pick something, and they made it seem like that's what you had to want to do, even though there was only like 10 different things that they had for you to do. So I picked something in building or construction or something that was like architectural. I was an architect. That's what it was. I think that's what it was. And that was like it didn't really allow me or I didn't really make it to where I was very, very creative with it. And it was just like, yeah, I'm going to do this, and then it's whatever. And then they made you figure out like how much money you're going to make and what you have to do to get to that point and all that stuff. And that's just the climate of how society was back in the day. It was like, you need to pick something, make money at it, and then just that was it. There wasn't any YouTube, and there wasn't any sort of stuff like it was rare if you got on TV or any sort of thing like that. But now you could be on TV like whenever you want. Like, you could be a freaking 6-year-old kid just messing around, record something on your phone, and there you are, you're on YouTube. It's that simple. And so, I never really knew that was what I wanted to do until I started doing it. And then I was like, yo, this is it. This is me right here. This is exactly what I want to do. And it was the most crazy feeling. I really felt like I was actually doing something for a purpose. Like, when previously I was like, I was just going through school. I didn't really know what I was doing. I was having fun, and I was having a good time. Like, I loved just hanging out and vibing out with my friends and just, like, messing around at school, playing basketball, playing tennis, all that fun stuff. Like, I was doing that stuff. But until I started my YouTube, I didn't really know, like, where I was going and, like, what I really wanted to accomplish in my life. Until I found YouTube, and I was like, yeah, this is it. This is 100% it. So at first, the channel was like, I didn't really have a direction for it. It was more like just make whatever video I could come up with, and then that was it. That was just the thing. That was what I made. Like, at first I made vlogs, and the second I made Minecraft videos, and I went back and forth. I did a lot of different things. I tried a lot of different content and figured out exactly kind of like what I liked to make. I mean, I like making all of it. It's just, there's just some things that, I like making a lot more than other things, which is totally understandable. That's how life works. There's some things that you prefer over other things. So I did vlogs at the beginning, and I actually went back. It's kind of off topic here, but I kind of went back like yesterday, and I watched, I believe it was the second video I ever posted. It was called Vlog Number 2, Getting Some Stuff Done. The most non-YouTube friendly title of all time. Like, I'm amazed it got any views whatsoever. But that video, like, I watched that back, and that was my second video after my first video had gotten like 130 views in the first day or something. It was just because it was like, it was a new thing that I was doing, and people were like, okay, let's go watch it, and never come back to the channel. But anyway, I watched it back yesterday, and it was kind of crazy to me. And I was looking at it, and I was really, really analyzing it, and I was like, man, I've come a long way in 2 years. And obviously, there's so much more to do, and there's so much more to go, and there's so much farther I can do, like, and so much farther I can go with this. It's just a matter of doing it, and a matter of putting in the work and the time. Because I know, like, there's so much more. I can be so much better, and I can be so much bigger. But at the time, I was like, just doing it, and I'm like, looking back, and it's like, dude, I really kind of sucked back then. I really sucked back then. And, obviously I was like, in a way I was aware. Back then I was like, okay, this is just whatever. But it was cool. It was fun, and it was exciting. So I didn't really care about if it was bad. And realistically, I still don't care, if it's like super bad. But I still want it to be. I try to make it as good as possible, But And obviously getting better every time is always the key. So the standards get higher and higher and higher every time, because obviously getting better than really good is hard to do. But looking back on it, and I was like, dude, this is actually really, really bad. But it's amazing to see that I started from this, and now I'm like on a regular schedule. I'm consistent. Putting out consistent quality, not as much consistent actual content as consistent quality. And I've really started to find my niche and find like my own sort of demographic to shoot for, and my own place in YouTube. I think I've come to find that I'm a vlogger. I think that's what I've decided, and that's kind of what I figured out is I'm the vlogger. And I like the real life content. I love the gaming stuff too, and that's always like really fun. Like I like to stream the gaming stuff, but the real life content is cool. Like just documenting, just documenting my weekends, my days, my life, and putting it into a fashion to where it's intriguing and it's interesting to you guys as well. That I think is really cool, and I've drawn lots of inspiration from a lot of different people, so it kind of helped shape what kind of my content is now. And I've just like watched back some of my just recent, like in the last 2 months, vlogs, and it's even different from then, and I've gotten better from then. Like it's crazy that I think a lot of the things that I've improved upon between now and 3-4 months ago was like the storytelling aspect of everything. Like there was a time, and it's also a matter of like figuring out titling and thumbnails and things to like make it kind of tie together with all the video. But I've really figured out what my kind of like method, my way of telling story is, and it's not like once upon a time this and then this and then this. It's like taking what I've documented and making it kind of flow and making it kind of go together, and having proper like transitions to make it to where you want to stick on and see what's kind of happening next. And it's also like the way I record it too. It's not necessarily the way I edit it. It's the way I record it for the edit. That way I know in the edit exactly how to make it to where it seems I'm going from point A to point B and then point B to point C. Easy. It makes it flow and makes it good. So that's a lot of the things I've improved on past months is, just making it a fluent and cohesive storyline and like a plot. Not necessarily a plot even. It's just like, obviously there can be some plot in it if you read into it that way, but it's more of just a flowing video that makes. And the statistics have shown that like the view duration has gone up. Like it's been from 4 months ago to now, the view duration of my videos has gone up because obviously like the video length is different because I've been posting the podcast on there and other things of that nature. But usually the view duration goes up for the vlogs because I figured out more kind of a way to keep it going instead of just like stagnant. It's more just keeping it going and pushing the story and flowing it through. And it makes it more entertaining for me. It makes it more entertaining, it seems, to watch as a casual viewer. It's like, yeah, this flows, and so I want to watch all the way to the end, But back then I had no idea. Like 2 years ago, I had no idea about any of that sort of stuff, and it was really intimidating actually sometimes because there was these people doing it and they were explaining it and like, oh, it's actually really easy. And I was like, dude, this sounds extremely difficult. And like it was intimidating. But now I've taken the time to learn it, and I've done it, and I've experimented with my own stuff, and I've learned through the process, and I've built kind of a method of doing things. And I look back and I'm like, dude, it was actually really easy. Like it is easy. It's just a matter of kind of putting it in your own context, and it's like this exact thing works for the person who made this piece of content that's telling me about it, but I'm going to take a slight bit of that information, put it into my own thing, and then make it my own thing and twist it into where it fits what I'm trying to do, so it makes more sense for me, if that makes any sense at all whatsoever. What I just said. But say if there's some advice about a way to gain views on YouTube, if people say, oh, you have to do this, make this your title, make it this long, this many characters, this, that, and the other thing. That works. That works for some people, and depending on the type of content you make, it definitely works. But also, some other things work for other people's audiences, and it's about knowing your audience and what they kind of attract to. And that's all really, really difficult to figure out. But at the end of the day, like there's a lot of ins and outs of the last 2 years, but at the end of the day, I just wanted to show appreciation and show that I'm grateful for every single person that has viewed my channel, subscribed, that has watched my videos, and provided feedback and interacted with all my stuff. Like, it's super awesome to see that. And for 2 years, I've still been able to maintain that and actually grow that. Year 3 is going to be the best year, 100%. I'm putting it in the universe right now. It is going to be the best year of my channel. I'm going to make it the best year. It's not going to just happen by accident. It's going to be exactly by design. I'm going to do it, and it's going to happen because I'm going to make it that way. I'm going to make it happen, and that's just how it's going to be. It's going to be the best year. So I hope you guys stick around for the ride, for the 3rd year of Garrett the Bear. But again, thank you all so much for the support on the channel for the past 2 years. It's really been an insane ride, and I've been so happy with it. And obviously there's ups and downs, but the ups definitely outweigh the downs 9 times out of 10. It's just always so exciting to see new people coming to the channel and people telling other people about the channel, and just all the growth that I've seen in the last 2 years. So thank you all so much for your continued support of the channel, and I really hope that this 3rd year is the best one, and it's going to be the best one. So it's up to you guys too. You can help support by just checking out the videos, liking, subscribing, all those fun things. But that's pretty much all I got for today. Just again, a huge thank you to everybody for the support, and let's get this 3rd year. Like, let's absolutely hit it out of the park. Let's do amazing things in year 3 of Garrett the Bear, friends. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of the GareTheBear Show podcast, and if you did, be sure to let me know, feedback-wise, anywhere that you can provide feedback. Follow the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and if you're here on YouTube watching, hello, and consider subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment with your feedback. Also, like the video; it really helps out a lot. But I hope you all enjoyed this episode. This has been Garrett the Bear. Thank you all so much for watching, or tuning in, or listening, whatever the heck you're doing, and I'll see you guys again next time.